Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. Hope you enjoy. Story number 1. Hate and Hope, written by Ozzy Endeavor. What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, not opposing, but side by side? Every species that is a part of the galactic community knows and can feel disdain, dislike. The mix of feelings of anger and disgust. We are also able to feel joy and relief, to be patient, yet no one can feel these so intensely as humans, and that was first shown in the war. The Sorg went to war with humanity not too long after the latter joined us on the galactic stage, seeking the valuable gas and ice giants that lay in the humans' home system. My species, the Otai, and many others wanted to help the humans, but we could not get to them, and they were on the other side of Sorg space, so all we could do was start a second front. It wasn't enough. The few star systems humanity had beyond their home system were taken one by one. The first to fall was Sirius. After that, the human counterattacks grew stronger and more frequent. The Sorg blocked communications between humanity and the rest of us, but we knew that the assault from Sirius did something to the humans, though what, we were unsure. The counterattacks were still not enough. Eventually, the Sorg reached the outer bounds of the human system, and the humans' resistance was growing weaker once more. We were desperate to save humanity, so we made one final push and broke through. We pushed into Sorg space. Our advance was stopped soon after, but we managed to make contact with the humans again. The humans seemed downbeaten, almost like they were considering surrender. But hearing from us again, whatever it did, it triggered something within the humans, a blazing fire that would not fade. The humans fought back and pushed the Sorgs back towards Alpha Centauri. They were ecstatic, and they took back the system, ready to liberate those who remained. There was nothing left. It was all gone. The planet which they had colonized was white, barren. Nothing could have survived. There seemed to be silence for some time after that. The Sorg started to take back territory once again, and we were wondering what the humans were doing. A broadcast originated from Earth rang throughout the entire galaxy. When humanity spoke, everyone listened. Many years ago, we thought that we might have been alone in this universe. We were alone, drifting through the void of space, doomed to end ourselves before we could meet anyone else. Do you know how we managed to push through? To keep going until we had found you. A little thing called hope. That's what. Do you know what hope is? It is the ability to look into the future, terrifying, unknown, dark, and horrible, and say, all will be okay. We will not fall. We will prevail. You may see that as foolish, but that is how we have survived this God-forsaken death world. It is how we will survive this. Now to you, the Sorg. Do you know what you have done? You have massacred men, women, children. Everyone. No mercy, no prisoners, no survivors. So don't expect mercy from us. This is what we call hate. You have given us the capacity to cause pain, to sow suffering. We hope you enjoy your last moments. The effects were sudden and intense. The Sorg launched everything they had at humanity and were repelled. Humanity refused to retreat any further, knowing that all would be well in the end. Then it was their turn. They charged full force, eradicating any ship that was in their way, leaving no survivors. They ripped through Sorg space, and the rest is history. The Sorg could not go on. The humans were wiping out everything they had, and we began another advance towards Sorg home system. after the war was won, the message took to a new meaning for the rest of us. Hope is a feeling humans can get which refuses to let them give up. Convincing themselves that they will not break, they become an immovable object. Hate is a feeling that forces humans to forego even their own morals in order to hurt, to punish. The world to put everything on the line just to see you in agony. They become an unstoppable force. This all triggered both at once, and it was their final mistake. I am glad we chose the side that we did. End of story. Story number 2. Humans are like wine. They take decades to mature. Written by Random 3X. Besdy arrived in the main square where the human members of the crew had agreed to meet for their day of fun. Besdy was unsure of what the humans had planned for their outing. They were in a layover in the Ecumenopolis, and the entire crew and the Lucid Treasure had been told that it would be an extended stay. With little else to do, Besdy had initially offered to just wait on the ship, but the human crew members were an odd and persistent bunch, and eventually, after much cajoling, he had agreed to join them. Besdy, there you are. Thought that you might have decided to stand us up, the human named Nigel said, waving at Besdy as he walked over. Besdy froze at the words. It had never occurred to him that that was actually an option, but he had been tasked by his people to further his understanding of other races, so even if he had wanted to, he would not have. Greetings, human Nigel. I am most excited for this day's events, Besdy lied. Coolio, the others are already at the first place, Nigel said as he turned around to lead the way towards the buildings covered in flashing holodisplays showing various avatars fighting. Welcome to the Negazone, the android receptionist said as they walked through the entrance. Do you have a booking? Party already in swing, Nigel answered. The android paused for a moment, as if computing what had been said, and gestured for them to walk in further. Besdy was unaware of what to expect. He had studied many sources of human interactions. He assumed that this would be a cocktail party where humans discussed events while listening to soft music. Walking through the second set of doors, Besdy was instantly bombarded with a medley of noises from every direction, beeps, pings, and whizzes from every direction. The guys are in the holotag arena, but we can drop in or join or just watch if you like, Nigel said. Besdy was once again frozen. This was not the get-together that he had researched adult humans did. I think observation is best for now, he finally answered rather weakly. Sitting in the seating area, they could see an arena where holographic avatars were jumping around, locked in combat with a Zilkar beast, doing maneuvers no unenhanced being would be capable of. Lots of gunshots were fired out and some slashes with swords, but in the end, the beast won by the slimmest of margins. The observing crowd even made an audible ah of disappointment. No, they were close, Nigel said. Pardon? Besdy asked, confused. That was the guys. Back when we were kids, we could beat that thing easily, Nigel replied, as if, on cue, the group of 3 humans arrived. That was a lot of fun. I want to go again, Alex beamed. Don't be an idiot. We got the system's biggest arcade and play system, and you want to do the same game again? Alice asked, jabbing Alex with her elbow. I kinda want to do the 0G ball pit, the mousy voice of Liz said meekly, holding up her hand. That could be fun, Nigel nodded. Leading the way to the new floor, they came to a large open arena with a large number of tubes surrounding a mass of plastic balls. Every so often, a figure of being could be seen launched out of a tube into the ball mass. They caught them. Dibs on the grav accelerator slide, Maddox shouted as he ran ahead. They're all grav accelerator strides, you bonehead, Alice shouted as she ran after him, following shortly by Liz. Human Nigel, Besdy began before pausing. Nigel turned to face Besdy, recognizing that he clearly had something on his mind. In my research, I understand these activities to be more for the hatchlings of the human race. Why do you full-grown specimens wish to partake? Pesty asked, unable to contain his curiosity at the dichotomy between what he had read and what he was witnessing. Not wrong there. This is a big play zone built with kids in mind, but we humans are, how do I put it? We're all big kids at heart, Nigel explained. I do not follow. Pesty tilted his head in confusion. Well, humans, at least the ones I know, are more often than not up for messing around with kid stuff. I'll let you in on a little secret, Nigel said, leaning in conspiratorially. Pesty was eager for this information and leant in for Nigel to tell it. We humans only pretend to be big, mature grown-ups. Beneath the surface, we have the same impulses as we had as kids. We can just control them better. The reality is that we never really grow up. We just grow bigger. Nigel leant away, indicating that he had finished. You know what? Pesty finally said after a minute of silence. What? Nigel asked. It is like a puzzle piece has fallen into place, and I can now see all of the parts that were unconnected now whole, Pesty said, finally realizing a lot of the oddities of humanity were due to big kids playing as adults. Glad to be of help. Just remember what my old man always said. Humans are like a very fine wine. We take decades to mature. Nigel replied with a big ear-to-ear grin before setting off in the direction the rest had gone. End of story. I would just quickly like to thank the T5 channel members and patrons. Caspar Arnholtz, Cam Maxwell, Parky, It's Difficult to Pronounce, Lord Azrakul, and Arcadian.